So the main work that we really believe is critical is building a field. And that a field isn't just there's different people doing work, but a field, and we're very much connected to the strong field framework, which is highly recommended for anybody in nonprofit to read if you haven't. The field is consistent of a lot of things. Um, a shared language, right? And shared indicators of success, feeling that you're part of something bigger. There's a lot of elements that are critical and that hasn't existed in our space. And so we do consulting through our Field Building 360 program with organizations. And we also do leadership training around skills, professionalism, peer support, and burnout. The main reason for that is that working in this space is very complicated for a variety of reasons. And most of the people who are working in it are affected by the conflict, right? We are Israelis and Palestinians, and we are suffering in different ways, and it is really challenging. And it shouldn't be taken for granted that everyone who comes to do this work is coming with a lot of baggage about the other and needs a lot of support in order to want to stay in this space. Another big issue in the field is that without shared indicators, each organization or each donor would come and say, what we are trying to do is resolve the conflict. We are trying to end the occupation. We are trying to create peace. And we say, like, Im kol hakavod, no NGO is going to do that by itself. No donor is going to do that by itself. And even a peace agreement isn't going to do it by itself. We need to understand what the broader field is. What is peace? What does it actually look like? What is a more peaceful reality? How do we measure if we're getting closer to it or further away from it? And what is each organization or each activist or each diplomatic resolution's role in bringing us to the next stage? And how can we be coordinating and working together um, to assure that we're reaching indicators? Does that make sense?
Yes. And what's the part of that that like, I mean, that's all hard, but like, what's the hard in the work? Is it the relationships? Is it the baggage? Is it just that, you know, that it's going to take weeks and months and years to get through some of this stuff? Like, I mean, not even talking about the last 2 years, but even before that, just what's the part that nobody sees?
I think the hardest part is at the individual level. It's hard to not feel like a traitor. It's hard to hold space for the other side when the other side is your enemy and also the people that you need to be working with to create change. It's hard to come in with I mean, the last 2 years, it's just hard to come in seeing the day to day. It's hard to stay focused. I always say, like, there's like, I forget who said it, the Hasidic tale of you should always have a note in either pocket, right? One that the entire world was created for you, and one that you are nothing but dust of the earth. And I really feel that here. It's like some days I show up and feel like we are the most important entity holding together elements of what's being discussed in the negotiations. And we have, diplomats and politicians and religious leaders at the highest levels of conversations who, are connected and using to us and using our language and on the ground, and we're changing policy, and there's huge hundreds and thousands of people who we're affecting by supporting the work that the organizations are reaching. And some days I feel like, wow, I am a tiny nonprofit in Talpiot that nobody knows exists, and it matters zero. And why? And often throughout the day I feel different parts of that, and holding that is really hard, and being on one side is really hard. It's like a joke yesterday in the kitchen water cooler talk. One of the staffs said to me, an Israeli staff said to me, "I know you're only in this to try to bring the Messiah." And I was like, "Except actually." And he was like, "No, no, I know." Like, "Except actually." Right? It's like, "Okay, I think you're